And so she says, I need you to represent me on my case for domestic violence. Because she said, because I was a victim of domestic violence. And so I need you to represent me because he did this damage to me. And I says to her, okay, tell me about the first case, the case before that, where you had dealings with the police. And of course she was shocked because she didn't know how I knew. Well, we're going to find out how I knew. I want y'all to stay tuned because I have a special demonstration that I want to do for you all tonight. I went through a lot of troubles to get this thing rigged up. Y'all stay tuned. Stay tuned. UNA. Welcome to your paradise, the place you long for all your life. UNA University, manifesting all your dreams. With paradise, your land is home. Writing contracts on your own. Protect your loved ones every day. Knowledge goes a long, long way. UNA University for me. Yes, yes, yes. UNA, yeah, UNA, yeah. All right, sisters, thank y'all. Let me see if I can't never catch them before they start over. How y'all doing? How y'all doing? How y'all doing? Welcome. Halo Diva. All right, what are we talking about today? You see the topic. It is see your energies manifest. I got a special demonstration that I want to do tonight. I went through a lot of trouble trying to hook these cameras up together, peoples. Now, I got all my fingers and toes crossed because I made it work one time. Leslie wouldn't talk to me. None of y'all out there would talk to me and help me figure this out. What was my Facebook friends when I needed you to help me figure this thing out? All right. So anyway, I got a demonstration that, I got my little rigs. I got a couple of rigs rigged up in here so that I can do this demonstration where I show you, where you can see how you are manifesting with your every thought. And you're going to see my thoughts. You going to see my thoughts coming from here tonight with this demonstration. I'm excited to present it to you. Because this is really, this is one of those demonstrations that I do that you can do for yourself at home. So now, I want to first of all say welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you all for joining us. This is the UNA open session. See your energies manifest. Now, I want to make sure y'all know we are kicking it off. We're kicking the UNA University Winter Season 2022. We're kicking it off on Sunday, the 16th, 2 days. Sunday the 16th, we're going to be kicking it off, and we're inviting everybody with our open session. It's our first ever free seminar, open seminar. There will be tests. It's called The Truth, Law and History. There will be tests. You will be able to participate. You will be paid for paying attention. So be ready to join us 3 to 5 p.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. to 5 p.m. Eastern. That's on Sunday, the 16th, January 2022. All right, so join us on that. Then Monday, we have our Whose Court Is It Anyway? All right, we're going through A for V process. We're going through the whole administrative process. We're going to show you how to create your own court and present it in a court so you can get your declaratory judgment. All right, this is that serious session where you're learning to be a lawyer. Really, you are a civil supreme. What's a civil supreme, Diva? All right, lawyer, judge, civil supreme. That's where you're going. All right, so now that's with the Monday session. Then on Wednesday, we have our upper level seminar, which is the bankers seminar. If you're under trust, then you will be able to get into there. If you've had back to basics, if you have your declaration and UCC on public record, then you are under trust. You also need to have had history. And that seminar is available for you. Now, if you want back to basics, we have that seminar as well. Hit up UNA America. We've got that seminar, $500. You can get it. Go to UNA America. All right, so now with all that being said, Let's get into it. See your energies manifest. Y'all get ready to see what's on my mind tonight. I'm going to show you how powerful your thoughts are. All right. So now, what I need to do before I go into that, I need y'all to understand what imagination is. All right. Imagination, you know, we deal with etymology here where we're breaking down these terms. And what imagination is and why it's so powerful. Now, you know, when a child is born, the system wants to get that child into school as soon as possible. And you notice when, you know, children go into school, something happens to their imagination. Something happens to it where it's beat out of them. You don't have any more imagination. You're not trained to use that imagination. So, all right, well, what is imagination, Diva? It's just, you know, thoughts in your mind. Well, this is where you create your future. And if you don't create it, remember, once again, somebody is going to create it for you. So let's understand why this imagination is so important as we break it down. When we break it down, we have image in nation. Now, let's start with the nation and understand that, remember, you are a nation all by yourself. You have millions of different spiritual entities within you. Now, for those of you all who are clueless about this, those who run the system, they full well know this. They're not going to tell you, but they full well know that you are a nation all by yourself. You are made up of many different spiritual entities. Why is that important? Because those spiritual entities in you, they are constantly manifesting for you. All right. Those spiritual entities in you are constantly manifesting for you. All right. What are they manifesting? Whatever you have in your mind. So let's understand this. When you put a thought in your mind, every cell in your vessel is alive and it sees your every thought. So we need to start recognizing just how powerful it is, because as soon as your cells see your thoughts, they are going to begin to manifest them, whether you want them to or not. You're going to see just how powerful a thought is. You're going to see how fast it manifests. And then you're going to begin to understand that your cells within you are moving things all outside of you. All right. So now, understanding that you have a nation within. So that's two parts of this word imagination. Image, in, meaning within your nation, meaning the cells that are within you. Now let's talk about these images. I don't know, if some of you all have recognized how you manifest. A lot of times, the spirits, and I call them the spirits because when I have a thought, things just begin to manifest, and I don't have to really put a whole bunch of energy behind it. All right. So when I show an image in my mind of what I'm thinking about, what I'm desiring, then suddenly something happens where it appears in front of me. All right. Understand that those are your cells within you manifesting. All right. So when we're talking about the image or your imagination, we're talking about what images in your mind that you are feeding to your nation within. What images are you feeding to your nation within? And if you are not being cognizant of the images that you're putting in here and feeding your nation, then all of your third dimension is going to be haywire, and you're not going to understand why. You want to recognize that whatever you put in here is what's going to manifest outside in your third dimension, and whatever you're seeing in your third dimension is what is a result of the images that you fed to your nation within. So we want to take that word imagination or imagination very seriously because it's highly powerful. What images are you feeding to your nation within? What are you watching on TV? Who you hanging around? Who's in your Facebook group or in your Facebook feed? Who are your friends? All right, what movies are you watching? All of this is very important because a lot of us think we're so immune to things. But your subconscious will pick up on something that you don't have a clue is going on. And those who are running the game know how your mind works better than you do. So we got to be cognizant of the images that we're feeding our nation. All right, we got to be cognizant of the images that we're feeding our nation. So what I want to do is in this demonstration, I'm going to see if I can hook this thing up. All right, what I want to show you is how when you think something, you're going to manifest it. All right, and this is a demonstration. Let me see if I can get this thing on. Oh, there we go. Yes, we are cooking with Crisco. Let me see. I'm sending a request. Technology. All right, so I'm trying to see if I can. Let me see. I'm adding here and bring Diva Laree on. So now, what I want to do is go over this test as I have my rig hooked up here. Now, what this is just a pendant on tied to some string. And so what I'm going to do is show you, this is a just basically a circle with a cross going through it. All right. And it says Diva's great because that's the truth. So now, what I'm going to do is position my hand. Now, by the way, I've played with this thing and I tried to turn the audio off. I couldn't get it to work, so forgive me. And I've got it turned all the way down right now. Hold on. All right. So now, here's what I'm going to do. I'm positioning this pennant, and I was wanting it to be set up where you can see my hand, because I want you to see if it's moving or not. Let's see if I can. Gotta be careful because I got a little rig. All right, so I'm gonna see if I can position this where you can see my hand, because I want you to see if it's moving or not, and if so, how much it's moving. So let me see if I can position this where you'll be able to see my hand. All right, let's see. All right, so now this is, once again, this is something you can do at home. It's a very powerful example of how you can see your thoughts manifesting. Now, let's see if I can. All right, so you can't really see my hand, but I want you to take a look as I position my hand over the center of this circle. Now, what I'm doing is I'm bringing it to a stop, because what I'm going to do is I want you to see as now I'm going to have to be silent, be a little silent, but I want you to see as I make this now, I'm going to make it go horizontal. All right, now I have to concentrate a little bit, but I'm going to be a little bit silent, but you're going to see me as I make this go horizontal, this pennant. So it's going to go across the horizontal line. All right. And so you can see as I'm concentrating on this, and I really don't want to talk because I I'm trying to not move my hand as much as possible. But you can see this pennant as it moves. Now when I'm silent, I can get this thing to swing even further when I'm concentrating on it very hard. Now what I'm going to do is going to make the string longer. And then I'm going to stop this thing from moving. And I'm going to bring it back to the center. All right, now I'm going to make this pennant as I bring it to a stop. Now I'm going to make it go up and down. Again, I have to concentrate because I don't want to move my hand. I only want to concentrate on that pennant going up and down that axis. And again, the more I concentrate, the longer I can make this swing. And again, this is all coming from my thoughts. And I don't want to move my hand. Now I'm going to bring this to a stop. Now I'm going to make this go into a circle clockwise. Again, when you concentrate, you can make this thing swing out much farther. I'll bring it to a halt in the center. Counterclockwise. I'm bringing this to a halt. Now, right now, what I want to do as I bring this to a halt, I want you to see. Now you're going to be able to see exactly what I'm thinking without me saying it. Now, right now, I'm telling this pennant to go in a diagonal motion. And you can see that by the way the pennant is swinging. Now, once again, this is a simple pennant that I put on the end of a string. And you can get a piece of paper, put a circle on it, draw lines through it. And again, when you are able to concentrate, you can get this thing to swing even farther. I'm having to do it in a rush. I'm going to turn this one off. All right, so that there's no more echo. All right, I hope you all got something from that. Now, let me say this. With this pennant, you may have seen my hand move a little bit, but the thing is, even if you're looking at my hand from this point, you got to recognize you can't tell what I'm thinking by looking at my hand. But when you see what happens or what manifests at the end of the string, you see a magnified information about what was in my head. And so you can see in that last demonstration where I showed the pennant was going in a diagonal motion. Well, okay, right now you can see the string moving. My hand might have moved a little bit. You can't tell from up here what is on my mind, but when you look down here, it's clear. Now, what is this representative of? This is representative of everything that's happening in your third dimension. This is representative of everything that's happening in your third dimension. If you have a thought, it is going to manifest down here. It's going to, your thought is going to cause all of your cells in your body to move. And there is going to be a reaction to cause whatever is going on in the third dimension to move. It's going to become magnified. And once it becomes magnified, it becomes clear down here. Even though you can't see it right here, you can see it down here, what's happening. So let me give the example of what I was speaking about in the opening, whereby I had someone to come to me as a client. And she says, well, yeah, I'm a victim of domestic violence, and I need some help on my case, and blah, blah, blah. And so what I asked her was, tell me about the case before this where you had some problem with either, a domestic case with the police, or whatever it is. You've had some kind of other experience with the police or with somebody else whereby you've caused harm to somebody else. I said, tell me about it. And she says, yeah, well, it was this one, she was, my neighbor, I had to go over there and I had to take care of her, because she was, doing stuff that I ain't like. Okay, she was almost bragging about the fact that she beat down her neighbor. How did you know? How do I know these things? Because I understand law. I tell y'all that all the time. I understand law. If you're getting an energy, it's because you put it out, first of all. So what happens is your mind is going to manifest whatever it sees, especially if there's a case where you've done harm to somebody else. That energy has to be returned. So you don't have to tell me what the energy is that you put out. I know when I see your third dimension down here and these things that are manifesting and going wild and crazy down here, I know what's in your mind. I know what you put out. I'm showing you law. What y'all look at as a pennant dangling on some string, I'm showing you how the universe works. So when you start to recognize, when you put out energies, first of all, when you recognize whatever energy is representing in your third dimension, when you recognize that, and recognize that it's coming from energies that you've put out, this is how you start to become oracle-less, and recognizing what people did in the past and what's going to happen in their future. It becomes very clear. This is a part of the universal laws, and this is a great example. You can do this with your kids or anybody. Just get you some paper, get everybody have their own circle, get a pennant with a string, attach it to a string, and you're going to just hold your hand over the center of that circle and just think. And as soon as you start thinking, this pennant is going to start moving. This is the same way things manifest in your third dimension. All right, so now, again, when you were watching this example, you saw in that when I said, all right, you'll be able to see what I'm thinking when I went diagonal. All right, why is that? Because again, everything that I'm thinking is manifesting down here in this third dimension. And the deal about everything you're thinking and how it relates to the third dimension is that anything down here is going to be far more magnified. This is why your thoughts in your mind are very important. If you're putting a positive thought up here, it's got to magnify. The same token, if you're putting negative thoughts up here, it's going to magnify. The amplification is going to be amplified down here. That's why we talk so much about meditation, getting your thoughts in order, making sure you're around positive people and positive things. If y'all got the TV on and the radio on, I don't even know how you keep from diving off a cliff, because of the things that they say on the radio and on the television. There's certain things, certain words that they mention over and over again. See how many times they mention the word, I don't even like to say it, that CV thing. See how many times they mention that when you watch TV and radio. See how many times they mention a virus. See how many times. That frequency of them doing that, they're planting seeds in your mind. This is why you have to turn it off. This is why you have to go within and really start meditating, because the more you do and the more you understand how your third dimension is representative of your thoughts, the more you'll be able to control your own future. Because right now, somebody's controlling your future because they've put seeds in your mind and you haven't. We've got to learn to plant our own seeds in our minds, okay? Now, I told you about how I was able to see with domestic violence, and a lot of times people don't recognize that things that happen in their third dimension is because of them. Now, I told you all about a while back about an example where there was a woman who was telling me, oh, Diva, you know, these people up here, they racist up here in this state. They racist. And then, you know, for me, that whole racist thing, I already know it's an energy. I already know it's an energy. And so when she said that, then she said it happened to her twice, I knew it was something that she was doing. Now, she's not going to see that because she wants to blame it on everybody else. No, these people racist. They be saying this. She told me about 2 incidences where she was called nigger. All right. Well, then I had to step back and I had to think about this. It wasn't even think. I had to ask her. I was like, what have you done to offend somebody? And, you know, she was hesitant to say things because all we need to do, listen, when you're in a situation like that, all you need to do is start talking to somebody and then start telling on themselves. You just got to know what to hear, what to listen for. And that's what she did. She started telling on herself. She says, you know, I got this neighbor. She came over and she didn't like that I called her half-breed. And I said, you called her what? She said, yeah, I called her half-breed because she mixed. Her mother is white and her father is this, and you know, I call her half-breed because, you know, that's, you know, I'm mixed. You know, my great grandmama, blah blah blah. I was like, Oh, did you not think about how she felt about that? She's like, oh yeah, she told me. She said she didn't like it, but I told her, it's okay because I'm mixed and blah blah blah. But this woman has told you that she didn't like that you were calling her that term, and you continue to do it. And that's when, again, she had already told on herself just by the fact that these things are happening in her dimension. Because we're so quick to think racism, this and that, we're not understanding the energies that we're putting out. So the deal was that this woman had offended someone else. And when you put that energy out, by law, that energy that you caused on someone else has to be returned to you. So instead of, us thinking, oh, wait a minute, this person offended me in a way so that I can recognize I offended somebody else. We don't understand that this is because of energies we put out. We got to start recognizing that. It's hard, especially when you're in that time and your ego was going and you upset and you angry and I got a right to be mad because they caught. Okay. But what we have to learn to do is step back and recognize this is an energy that's coming upon me. I offended somebody else somewhere with my words. And then once we start to understand that, then we can recognize how we are the ones controlling our own dimension. All right. So now I say to her, so you, after being told that this woman was offended by your terms, you continue to call her half-breed. Well, yeah, that's just how we do. I ain't mean nothing about, Okay, so that's why then down the line, you got to get nigger, because you don't understand it until you are put in a situation where you've got to feel the same energy that you put out on someone else. And the funny thing about it is that the universe knows your frequency. The universe knows what you need to help you experience the pain that you put on somebody else. By the same token, the universe knows what you need to help you to experience the happiness that you gave to somebody else. The universe is going to return whatever energies you put out. That's how the game goes. So if you're putting out all of these, or if you're putting out a negative energy, you've got to respect that whatever energy is coming upon you is because of the energies you put out somewhere else. If you're putting out a negative energy or a positive energy, know that it's got to come back to you by law. This is how we start learning how to manifest. All right. So once again, this is a great technique. This is a fun technique as well to do with your kids, to do yourself at home, so you can watch really how you can start making this thing move. Now I had to talk. I wanted to stop talking because the more you're able to concentrate, the more you're able to get this thing to swing. All right. So now, as I close out here, I want to thank y'all for joining me. I want to talk to y'all sisters. All right. In closing, listen, you all have a lot of power. And I'm going to say this, I covered this in my Black Woman is God seminar and some of the molecular structure seminars and sessions. The reason why I focus so much on women is because you determine the beings on this planet. The women, you determine whether there's a male or a female going to be on this planet. See, what we haven't been told as women is that we are the ones who determine the sex of the child. Somebody told you about a male sperm and a female sperm. Those don't exist. And I go through that in the molecular structure. All sperm are female. All of them, every last one of them. And so if it wasn't a female, then it wouldn't be able to procreate or penetrate the ovum. There's got to be a female. And so one of the things that we haven't come to understand as women is just how powerful we are when we're doing when we're creating beings. All right, so let's understand this. when you, as I said, when you have a thought, it's manifested or amplified in the third dimension. All right. And that includes when you're giving birth. All right. When you're giving birth, whether you have a male or a female is determined by the state of the mind of the woman. If she's off balance mentally, emotionally, physically, she hates her job, she hates her life, she's getting beat up by her spouse, she's not eating well, her body is off, then she's in turmoil. She is under duress. These are the things that cause us to, the fact that we don't understand these things, we don't recognize what we're giving birth to. All right. So now, when you have a child and they're going through all of these trials and tribulations, recognize that they are reflecting you. If your child is a hellion, tearing every damn thing up in the community, that's a reflection of you. So what you've given birth to comes from inside of you, out here into the third dimension. Why is it so important that women need to clean up? Because you are responsible for all of the beings, human beings, that are coming into this dimension. You are. Don't let them come into this dimension unless it comes through the female. And so if you're not recognizing how your mind is playing a role in your child, especially at the time that you were pregnant, then you're not recognizing how they are reflecting you even after they come out of your womb. I go more into detail about exactly what the male and the female are in my molecular structure sessions and in the Black Woman is God sessions, so that I can fully help you understand why it's so important that you get your mind in order. Nothing comes into this dimension unless it comes through you. When the woman gets her mind in order, then we can clean up a whole bunch of mess. All right? So you're the key. And to my brothers, I love you. I appreciate you for watching. Get you a pen and some string, a circle. All right, so that you can really start to recognize and just see. It's a great demonstration to see how your mind manifests. You don't want to move your hand. You want to keep your hand as steady as it can be, and let it. And then just think. All you got to do is tell that thing, think in your mind where you want that penny to go, and that's what it's going to do. So, with that being said, get your mind right. All this thing is about getting your mind right. And I want y'all to join us on Sunday. Sunday, we're going to be dealing with, it's going to be the truth, law, and history. And we're going to be dealing with the United States and how it is not Morocco. All right, that's going to be a heated, or it could be heated. I'm going to be calm and collected, but excited, because I'm going to present some information to you that I have been presenting the whole time, so that we can understand what's going on with this whole game, who's who, and how we're still being told lies with respect to the history that went on here in the Americas. All right, so y'all join me on Sunday. That's going to be a fun session for me. I hope it's going to be fun for you. Thank you. I hope you enjoyed the demonstration. All right, and I went through a lot of trouble to show to you. Anyway, we're going to catch y'all Sunday. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. Diva. By the way, if y'all have any questions or comments you want to put into the comment box, please go ahead and put them in there so we can get to it, all right? I love you. I'm out. Diva. Bye-bye. UNA. Yeah. UNA. Welcome to your paradise, the place you long for all your life.